Thank you very much, Shalom, and greetings to you all. Now, I hope you all had an awesome 10 days of awe. Let's have a quick show of hands. How many of you had people come to them and ask for forgiveness? Okay. Did you grant it? How many of you went and asked another for forgiveness? Did you get it? It's amazing how few people actually avail themselves of this great opportunity to partake in a truly healing event, the forgiveness mechanism. There's only two biblical characters who ever did. And when you look at the events of their lives, the way the events impacted who they were, what they became, what happened as a result of their exercising the forgiveness mechanism, you would think everybody would jump on that bandwagon. Those two were actually related, Esau and Joseph. Now, as soon as Yom Kippur ended, you got out there with your hammer and started building your sukkahs, as we are now in the Chol Ha'moed, the intermediate days of Sukkot. Gamar Chatima Tova, you had a great final sealing. You're sealed in the book of life, and you began this holy time as the seasons changed from summer to autumn. The falling leaves drift by my window. The autumn leaves of red and gold. I see your lips, the summer kisses, the sunburned hands I used to hold. Now we say goodbye to summer, we think of the fall and all it heralds, the harvest. Thanksgiving, preparation for the earth to sleep, to rejuvenate, to go through its own temporary ceasing as we enter this holiday of harvest time. Sukkot is one of the three gathering festivals that's called for, and it entails building a hut or booth or sukkot, which comes from the root word covering, and spending the week dining and sleeping in it. And just as it's a festival of gathering, we gather weekly as a group of like-minded, like-souled fellows seeking unification of spirit. It's not a religious thing, it's a human thing. The collective consciousness of seekers coming together in a showing of faith, of love, a community, a chavura, a fellowship. As we express our nature of kindness, compassion, thoughts, feelings, hopes, dreams, and wishes that unites us all in this community house of spirit, Beth Ruach. So once again, please do go ahead, invite everybody, physically, psychically, digitally, socially, anti-socially, emotionally, or spiritually, to gather and share from Psalm 133, the Hine Matov. Hine Matov, Umanai, Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov, Umanai, Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. How good, how pleasant it is for brothers and sisters together. Community. 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 Together. As a community, let's all spread love, goodwill, and fellowship to the world. Remember, friends, this is you're setting aside just a little bit of sacred time in your sacred space to honor and converse with whoever, whatever you happen to believe in. We all believe in something. It's a part of your kavanah, your intention that you put out to the universe. It's your goodwill. Let's send some of that goodwill out. Let's invoke healing and renewal with it for everybody. It floats through space, finding those in need. So send it out for those you know and for the souls and spirits of everybody you love. Think of whoever that needs healing and renewal and love or just goodwill. Focus on them. Call their names. It's not just for people. It's for our pets. It's for the earth. It is the healing of the world, the tikkun olam, that healing mission that's part of our spiritual genetic makeup that we are all on in this lifetime. Let's send thoughts and energy for health and renewal for everybody in need. For those in our hearts and our minds. For Seymour, for Ben, for Claire, for Jim, for Dave and Sarah, for Adrian, for Martin, for Yosef, for Aurelia, for Leanne, for Gloria and Tally, for Diane, for Rosemary. Friends, it is the kindness, the healing wishes, goodwill, and love we all send out. It just circles the world, finding those in need. So thank you, each of you, for all you do, for all you care, because the world is a world of spirit, and spirit never dies. Me. Shaberach. Avotenu, Makor Habracha, Limotenu. May the source of strength bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage. Make our lives a blessing. The renewal of body. The renewal of spirit. Let us say, Amen. Misha Baruch, let us all have our spirits renewed. This is the great prayer for healing, which we call upon God to heal as He's healed before. Misha Baruch, may He who blessed, because all healing's a blessing. So let's all send and receive healing and renewal energy in our efforts to love, to share, to care, to grow. And as we share and care by inviting people to share our Sukkots with us, I know people who relish the ability to engage in this holiday. It's their favorite. It's a wonderful holiday for the engagement of the imagination. It's a peaceful time when you sit back in your booth, your sukkah, and you share and contemplate life and all its idiosyncrasies. As you look out at the moon and the stars, would you like to swing on a star? Carry moonbeams home in a jar and be better off than you are? Or would you rather be a imagination? You could be a mule, a pig, a fish, any of a myriad of God's great creations. The goal is to spend as much time as possible in the sukkah and let your mind drift. And depending on when it falls in the northeast, it can be easy or more difficult, depending on the weather. Now, I know very few people who take all their meals or sleep in the sukkah, but you could take a nap. You could look up at the sky. Now, you will often hear this holiday referred to as the Feast of Booths or the Feast of Tabernacles, sometimes also the Feast of Ingathering. It is a biblical Jewish holiday celebrated on the 15th day of the month of Tishrei, and so it is 5 days after Yom Kippur. And generally, as I said, you can count on the 15th of the month to be a full moon. Most holidays are either the beginning or middle of a month, the new or full moon, because those were easy to tell. Now, this holiday is the celebration of guests and welcoming them into our homes, our booths. As the great poet Khalil Gibran said, if it were not for guests, all houses would be graves. Now, this year, like last, many synagogues do not have communal sukkahs and are encouraging people to not invite guests. Each person must do what is best for themselves. Throughout time, both as individuals and through group exiles or migrations, we are all contributing to the world through the personal characteristics we have acquired and share with our guests. And that has always been by way of guests. We being them, we welcoming them. Loving kindness, strength, splendor, glory, holiness, eternity, sovereignty. These are the gifts. We were homeless wanderers. We learned how to inculcate all of these characteristics in our lives from all the places that we went and all the people that we met. And so we perform a short ceremony to welcome the guests, real or imagined, which you will usually hear referred to simply in the Aramaic ushpzin, which is simply the word for guests. Now, on the first day, many would simply say, I invite to my meal the exalted guests, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Joseph, Moses, Aaron, and David. May it please you, Abraham, my exalted guest, that all the other exalted guests dwell with me and you, Isaac, Jacob, Joseph, Moses, Aaron, and David. And on each day, a different one of the 7 is singled out in order. You don't have to do it. You just have to, think about having the guests. As times change, customs change. And so of late, it's become much more popular in some circles to invite matriarchs and other important women as guests. Sarah, Rachel, Rebecca, Leah, Miriam, Abigail, Esther. And they would either be paired with the men or listed on their own. Now, I know you knew all but one of the names, Abigail. She was a wife of David and considered one of the 4 most beautiful women in the world. I agree. And one of the 7 Jewish women prophets. Now, I know most of you could only think of Miriam as a prophet, but there were others. Sarah was considered a prophet. Devorah, Hannah, Abigail, Huldah, Esther, and of course Miriam. The emphasis, though, is on guests, and you get bonus points for inviting people who've never been in a sukkah before. So if you feel up to it, have guests. Now, of all the Jewish holidays, Sukkot is the only one whose date does not commemorate a historic event. And the Torah refers to it by two names, Hag HaAsif, the festival of ingathering or harvest festival, and the Hag HaSukkot, festival, Hag meaning festival of booths, each expressing a reason for the holiday. In one case, being a temporary dwelling, and in the other, the cloud. Now, either way, it comes from the root of the word for covering, like I said. On the first day of the 7th month, we had horn blasting and healing. It commenced the 10 days of awe, judgment, and introspection began, which took us to the 10th day of the 7th month. The second holiday mentioned, the Day of Atonement, when the judgment was sealed. We are then told on the 15th day of the 7th month about this holiday. Leviticus 23:33, and the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, speak to the children of Israel, saying, on the 15th day of the 7th month is the festival of booths. 7 days for the Lord. You shall live in a booth 7 days. Every citizen shall live in booths, so your generations will know that I had the children of Israel live in booths when I brought them out from the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. On each day of the holiday, we go out to our booth, and it's mandatory to perform a waving ceremony, right, with the 4 species. And we're told to put these 4 species together. You hold them together and you shake them. And these are 4 species of plants known as the arbominum, consisting of palm, myrtle, and willow, which form the lulav, together with a citron, the etrog. Now, of course, there's theories as to why each of the species was selected, and one of them suggests they represent the makeup of man. Another suggests they represent the characteristics of man. Doesn't matter. The palm branch refers to the backbone of man. It stands for uprightness. It can produce tasty fruit, but it has no scent. And so it represents those who have knowledge of the law but lack in performance. The myrtle leaf corresponds to the eyes, and it signifies enlightenment. It's a strong scent, but no taste. And so it represents those who perform good deeds but actually have little knowledge of spiritual law. The willow represents the lips, the service of which is in prayer. It has neither taste nor scent, and it represents those who have no knowledge of spiritual law and perform no good. The etrog refers to the heart, the place of understanding and wisdom. It has both a pleasing taste and pleasing scent, representing people who have achieved knowledge of spiritual law and perform good deeds, or mitzvot. Your goal is to be an etrog, but if you can't be governed by spiritual law and the power to do good, then be the myrtle. Regardless of your level of spiritual knowledge, open your heart and do good. You can always learn the law. We bring all 4 of these types together to remind us that every one of these people is important and that we must all be united, and those with knowledge can help teach those who have no knowledge. Now, each day of the holiday of Sukkot, we move these 4 species, lulav and etrog, 3 times in each of 6 directions. And it's done immediately after reciting a specific blessing. And many do this by turning around while extending them in each direction, eastward, southward, westward, northward. Then facing east, it's upwards and downwards. According to the Kabbalistic explanation taught by Rabbi Isaac Luria, the great Ari, after each movement, the lulav and etrog are brought towards the heart. So it's kind of like fishing. Each time the motion of shaking would be casting and then drawing into you. Reach and draw in. Reach out and draw in. Reach out and draw in. And he proposed that the 6 directions represent the 6 emotions found within the tree of life, allocated to each of the sephirot. South was for kindness, which represented chesed. The north was for discipline, which is gevura. The east is harmony, which is tiferet. Up is perseverance, which is netzach. Down is submission, which is hod. West is connection, which is yesod. And then when we bring the 4 species toward the heart, it represents communication, which was malchut. And we always begin with a blessing, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tivanu al netilat lulav. Blessed are you, Lord our God, King of the universe, who has sanctified us with his commandments and has commanded us concerning the waving of the lulav. If you don't say the prayer, you don't say the prayer. The important thing is the waving of the species. Now, there's also a chant of praise that comes from the Psalms. And it's pieced together from Psalms 113 to 118, and it's known as the Hallel, which calls for praise and thanks to God. And the lulav is also waved during Hallel, while saying, Hodu l'Adonai ki tov, ki le'olam chasto, give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, for his loving kindness endures forever, which it does. Now, I know it's considered a harvest festival, but it's other things, as well. Because the harvest had probably already taken place, it might subsequently be finished afterwards. The 1st to the 10th were very specified dates, and you were tied up. This is now the 15th, the gathering festival, and it's about the gathering of the people, not the produce. So if you had harvest per se, right, you'd already done it because you now had to gather, which meant travel, and travel took time. So I think that the ingathering was not just about harvesting, but about the clearing of everything around us. See, the 10 days of awe were about cleansing. And maybe now we take these 4 species to sweep away from all directions the remnants of any negativity we were busily cleansing ourselves of or atoning for. So think of that next time you're playing with your lulav in a drug. Yes, my friends, the world's sacred, so is everything in it. Express your gratitude, light a candle, make a wish, celebrate your life and the lives of those you love, share your feelings with them. Live free, be free, honor your freedom, be well, be happy, be blessed, share and honor the light. All who live in the light and continue to shine, continue to send everybody you know goodwill and love. Pray for peace and freedom for everyone, and end to terror and hatred. Remember, friends, we are a community. We learn together. We celebrate each other. We love each other. We share this ride together, men and women equally. Let's send out love, not fear. Send out peace, harmony, goodwill, and healing to all who need it. And please do learn to forgive and learn to love, including yourself. Open your hearts to honor the relationships of your life. Tell those you love that you love them. Take advantage of the time you have. We take the twists and turns and the patterns that weave through the fabric of our lives in our effort to grow, to learn to be to love. So please do love. Now bless you all. Have a fantastic week, a week of love and light, a week of peace, a week of miracles. Examine your intentions and use them to imprint your will on the universe, because we set in motion everything that happens in our lives. It's our intention, our kavana, our cause, our effect. Everything is linked. As I've said, you always have time to forgive and to be forgiven. You have the knowledge of what's good and bad, so acknowledge what you've done wrong to yourself, to God, and to any person you've wronged, and ask forgiveness. But do so with sincerity, accountability, and vulnerability, just as you forgive those who've hurt you. Because the secret of forgiveness, compassion, and peace, my friends, is in acceptance. Can you accept yourself, other people in the world, just as they are? Can you accept life as it is without trying to control it? Because if you do, you can experience the peace that acceptance brings. So do not stop your journey. Don't keep moving towards your own promised land. It's there waiting for you. It's your home. Keep on dreaming. Keep on being. Keep sharing. Keep shining. Keep teaching. Keep spreading joy and goodwill and love. Do not follow fear. Follow love. It's always in front of you. And remember to have faith and unwavering adherence to principle, just as I have faith in the principle of love and of all of you. Act with purity of heart and mind. Despise none, defraud none, hate none. Cherish all. Honor every child of God, every creature of the earth. May all people know peace in this year. May you nurture kindness and love everywhere you go. Work to be present in the body. Expand the heart, quiet the mind, because the deepest source of real power lies in your consciousness and your ability to be mindful, to be aware, to be present in all of life's circumstances. So make the most of your time in this life. Continue to touch and transform the lives around you, because you're never alone. You're forever blessed, and you have the ability to bring blessings to everybody you meet. Your words are your power to transform, to love, to bless. So be generous with them. Bless others and bless yourself, and love with the heart, because we're all part of a greater whole. Embrace love, not fear, forgiveness, not anger, and be there for someone, because someone will always be there for you whether you know it or not. And continue to explore faith and belief, and never accept shame as a natural state. Whatever you feel others have felt, whatever you've experienced others have too. We share together, we learn together, we help each other, because we are each of us trying to find love and acceptance and support, and we all have or could have a special someone in our lives. So find them and tell them what they mean. And remember, you're never alone on your journey to your promised land. Watch your words. They can hurt you, but they can heal you. They can imprison you, but they will free you. And keep forgiving forgiving those you need to forgive, and keep asking forgiveness from those you need to ask forgiveness of. And remember, you're spending a week in your hut fishing with the lulav and etrog, casting and drawing in, always to the heart. There were two old middle-aged men. They were sitting in the corner bar. They were lying about what wonderful lovers they are, bending each other's ears, bending their elbows too, holding their arms apart, the way that fishermen do, singing, "You should have seen the one that got away." Yes, you should have seen the one that got away. Have a fantastic Sukkot, my friends. Enjoy the sky. Invite a guest. Shake the sticks in all 6 directions and clear away the remnants of whatever you had to cleanse. Shabbat Shalom. Blessings to you all. And when we get together next, we go back to the beginning. Take care. I will see you all next week. Thanks. Bye.